Back in the days in the Wild West, many people moved out there. Some to visit, some to stay there. And for those visiting, they needed a place to stay. And if you wanted to go to Yellowstone, there was a nice place to stay in Cody, Wyoming, in the Irma Hotel. Built in the early 1900s, this hotel still stands today and was made by Buffalo Bill himself. Over 100 years later, the hotel still stands, still takes guests, but maybe, just maybe, some guests are still there. Does this hotel have haunting ghosts? Does Buffalo Bill still walk the halls? Is there a soldier who went mad there who still haunts one of the rooms? Or is Irma herself still there as well? Join us today as we discuss the Irma Hotel.
Welcome back to
Unknown,
Unsolved,
Unseen,
Triple U.
Woohoo! Welcome back to episode 95. We're getting close to the big old 100.
I know, I gotta start working on that.
I'm your Wild West darn tootin' host, Frank.
I'm your would not have survived in the Wild West host, Sage.
Yeehaw! And we're
Yeehaw.
heading out west today. So, first off, 100 coming up. Excited to see that happen. Sorry we've been a little slow on seeing things lately between busy with work, busy with life, and busy with technical problems. Everything has been in health too. Everything. We don't really catch much of a break lately.
Nope. But that's adulting according to everyone.
Yeah. And I don't think I really have anything besides that on announcements, or anything else. So Sage, you know where we're heading to today?
Reportedly Wyoming.
Back to Wyoming. This is our second episode taking place in Wyoming.
Whoa.
The least populated state out there.
Well, that means it's populated by some other shit.
And you know what? This one, like the other one, is another haunting. Because that's the only thing that we care about Ohio. Dang old ghost. Dang old tell you what, dang old ghost.
Somebody's got to care about them.
Yep. We're heading over to Cody, Wyoming. And specifically, we're going to take a little stay at the Irma Hotel.
Is it K-O-D-Y or C-O-D-Y?
K-O-D-Y. Cody.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Irma Hotel?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so.
Well, this will be the third haunted hotel we're covering.
Have you?
Oh, no, I did.
Me. I did Cecil.
Yeah, but
which was a mystery and a haunting.
I didn't think you found any hauntings to it, though.
Not really. So
Yeah.
never mind.
But this is our third haunted one.
I've done a lot of the asylums.
Asylums and
penitentiaries.
Yeah. We have now, and I did the Madison Seminary, which kind of is adjacent.
That's true.
But I've done the most haunted hotel in America, the Crescent Hotel and Spa, and the second most haunted hotel in America, the Stanley Hotel. And now, this is not on the top haunted hotels, but it is a haunted hotel.
So it's not the third most haunted?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. So this is another haunted one we'll be covering. And, you know, what's crazy is we've done 3 haunted hotels, as I just said, all of them me. We've now done 2 Wyoming episodes, both of them me.
I guess I gotta branch out.
I have a monopoly on Wyoming and haunted hotels. You gotta pick up your game.
Well, Wyoming doesn't have much, so it's not really hard to have a monopoly on that. As for the haunted hotels, certainly I could pick up 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So.
Now, do you know anything about Buffalo Bill?
I only know that the Buffalo Bills. That's where the name comes from. I don't know why, though.
Does it really?
Well, what else is Buffalo Bill? Now I feel like we got to look it up.
What is he? Actually, it might have something to do with him. I don't know, really.
Why are the Buffalo Bills called that? Named after the famous American frontiersman and showman Buffalo Bill Cody. The moniker originated from a public naming contest held for Buffalo's original team in the All-American Football Conference in 1947, and the name was later adopted by the modern franchise in 1960. His last name was Cody, but with a C.
No. Was it? I thought his first name was Cody.
Buffalo Bill Cody.
Well, his real name was not Buffalo Bill.
Well, of course.
But we'll get into him because we're going to talk actually a good amount about him because all of what I'm mentioning here is because of him. All of it comes from Buffalo Bill himself.
Mr. Buffalo Bill.
Are you ready to saddle up and find a place to rest out west, partner?
I sure am. His name was William Frederick Cody.
Yeah, okay, you're right. It is Cody last name.
Bill is short for William.
Probably have that here soon, but I can't remember. I wrote this like 2-3 weeks ago. The history part. Now let's get into the history of this mystery, as all good hauntings need be.
Oh my god, look at that rhyme. You're the next Eminem.
After I said place to rest out west, now let's get into a history of this mystery, as all good hauntings need be. Join me.
Alright, I feel like we can set aside the rhyming.
Alright. The Irma Hotel is in the city of Cody, which is in the northwest portion of Wyoming. The latest census of Cody has the city at 10,028 people.
That's more than I thought it would be. Is there an Applebee's?
No idea.
Darn.
It is the 11th largest city in Wyoming. And Wyoming is a very sparsely populated place compared to the rest of the country and everywhere else.
Well, it's a lot of wilderness.
Yeah. The city of Cody is named after William Frederick Cody, but many know that man as Buffalo Bill.
So you had his full name the whole time?
It was not on my screen. I wrote this part like 3 weeks ago. Buffalo Bill was born in the Iowa Territory in 1846. Growing up, he lived in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and the Kansas Territory.
A Canadian?
Grew up a little bit there, but he's born in America.
I love Canada. They
had moved to Kansas in 1853, as we discussed a few episodes ago in the Madison Seminary episode. Shout out Skipper Scream. This was a pretty bad time for Kansas. It was a hotbed for the slavery issue prior to the Civil War. Buffalo Bill's father, Isaac Cody, was a staunch in his anti-slavery views, Big W. This resulted in the family being persecuted, including Isaac being seriously injured for his views,
Jesus.
which aided in his eventual death.
Wow.
Buffalo Bill would start working at 11 years old after his father's death. He would become a rider for the Pony Express at age 15 and enlist in the Union Army and serve from 1863 to 1865 during the Civil War. Respectable for serving the Union.
People are disgusting.
Yep.
Like, not him, obviously, because
there are things he did later that are disgusting, but
yes,
like
but
this
in this moment, fighting for the Union was good.
Yeah.
But it's disgusting that there was like physical abuse and shit just because your views were.
Yep.
It happens to this day.
There's a lot of problematic things about Buffalo Bill that we'll talk about, but like there are also good things he did, like this. Him and his father stood for their anti-slavery views. He would also serve as a civilian scout for the U.S. Army during the Indian Wars, which was after the Civil War. He would receive the Medal of Honor in 1872 for his service as a scout. It was rescinded in 1917 for him and 910 others. This was along the line of, I believe it was because he was a civilian scout. I don't know, it was complicated. He would have it reinstated along with 4 other civilian scouts in 1989. Now, you may be wondering how he got that name, Buffalo Bill. Well, he got it for killing bison.
Yeah.
This is where it becomes not as good. Bison used to roam the West in millions, despite whatever the current ecosystem... Sorry. No, I skipped line. Despite whatever the current administration wants you to believe regarding bison, because there is an active campaign to say that bison are not needed in America and that they are a nuisance.
Aren't they a major predator? No, they're herbivores.
Prey, yeah.
Major
But
prey.
the thing is, they're making laws that bison are not allowed to graze on federally owned lands, only on national parks. They're trying to like restrict it that bison are only allowed in national parks, and if they eat any like grass outside the national park, you kill them.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought the national parks were owned by
Well, like
the federal government.
BLM land, I mean, that show specifies like anything outside the national parks. Bison should only graze in national parks, and if they eat grass or vegetation elsewhere, they should be put down. So they are extremely important to the ecosystem and were vital to indigenous living and culture. There's a huge push to exterminate the bison, to choke out the Native Americans, and to ruin, to more make room for us to move in instead. But bison used to be insanely numerous, them and wolves. And there's still an active push by this current administration and many on the Republican side to eliminate both from the ecosystem entirely.
I just don't get what the benefit of removing them from the ecosystem is. Like, what benefit are they imagining?
Because they might kill livestock. A wolf might kill livestock, like one cow or a couple cows, and so we have to get rid of all of them.
Okay. I mean, bison, though. People eat bison.
Yeah, but like it's harder to raise them for farming, so let's get rid of them and put cattle there instead, so cattle ranchers can make, like the large meat packing businesses can make a lot of money.
Oh, now we're targeting big meat.
Like, I mean, that is some of the stuff that's seriously going on.
No, it is, and I don't mean to laugh because it's serious, but I laugh because big meat is funny.
Well, Buffalo Bill was contracted by the Kansas Pacific Railroad, and they would kill bison in large numbers to supply meat to the workers. And there was a huge campaign to starve out the indigenous tribes. Buffalo Bill killed 4,282 bison in the span of 18 months.
Holy shit!
That's one person. You had hundreds of people doing this. That's why I said
so
bison.
So if he alone killed that many, how many did people around him kill?
Probably similar numbers.
Wow.
Buffalo were killed in absolutely insane numbers.
How did they take down a buffalo?
Shoot him, poison some. I think I lost shooting. There are videos of like mounds of bison skull. They're like 50 feet high mounds of bison skull.
Oh my god.
Bison, like they try and hide people try and not acknowledge, and history doesn't tell us as much. Bison were in absolutely absurd high numbers, but we've killed him. And like it's this thing where it's a shift, like the shifting line of like what's normal, where what we see now today, we decide that this is the new normal, despite the fact if you go 150 years ago, this is way far off from what was normal. That's what we do with the ocean, because when you go in the ocean, you don't see too much life around you. It's because we killed most of it. You go back before we started polluting it and removing and just not caring about nature, you'd see so much more animals.
Well, you also, that adds to the fact too that there's animals we are seeing closer to the shoreline that shouldn't be closer to the shoreline.
That's just fake news.
Because of things like global warming.
Fake news.
No. Things like sharks and orcas are coming closer because that's where the food is. Because the water is like too warm through the rest of the sea.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, people voted for somebody who'd much rather make this worse to enrich himself and his buddies than to actually do something about it. If it makes somebody's life a little inconvenient, people will vote against it. That's just me on my soapbox being annoyed.
I get it.
Buffalo Bill got his name also from like a competition for how many bison they could kill in a certain span of time, and he would win. I
didn't realize it was so like elaborate.
What, that they killed that?
The scheme, like there was like a game and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was just fun for them half the time. It was work and fun. But that would lead him to meeting Ned Buntline, who would write a successful novel called Buffalo Bill, King of the Bordermen. Then there were sequels to follow, and playwright Frederick G. Mader adapted the story into the hit play Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill would see one of the plays and would encourage him to play the role of himself. And in December 1972, he would make his debut. It didn't do too well, but he continued doing it, and it did better over time. This would lead to the Buffalo Bills Wild West, a touring show that traveled throughout America, Great Britain, and continental Europe. This would allow him to even meet the Pope and I believe the Queen of England.
Jeez.
He met the Pope in 1890, which is Pope Leo the 13th.
Okay.
Now we get to the more related information. In 1896, Buffalo Bill's company, Shoshone, it's an indigenous tribe name, but Shoshone Irrigation Company laid out a town in northwest Wyoming. This town would be named Cody after Buffalo Bill himself. He was heavily involved in the development of the town, such as making sure the streets were wide enough and regulating liquor license fees to keep out rough trade. In the town, he owned a livery stable, blacksmith shop, a newspaper for the place, nearby ranches, a nearby company to mine coal and drill oil wells, and a hotel. The area had rich soil, great scenery, ideal hunting conditions, and it had proximity to Yellowstone National Park. The town was incorporated in 1901. It was located in Park County, and in 1909 became the seat of Park County and still is the seat of Park County to today.
Wow.
Now, with that background, let's get back to the Irma Hotel, which is the most likely why you're here today. But if you're here about Buffalo Bill or Cody, Wyoming, there's probably something else out there for you that will do better than what I'm doing here. The Irma Hotel was built in 1902 and named after his youngest daughter, Irma Cody. He described it as just the sweetest hotel that ever was
Aww.
Buffalo Bill's quote. It was meant as a fine hotel to appeal to tourists going to Yellowstone National Park, businessmen looking to explore mining, ranching, and other opportunities, big game hunters, and other summer tourists. Not many winter tourists, with weather conditions being brutal out there.
Damn, bro, it's windy out here.
Damn, bro, it's snowing sideways. The hotel was designed by Alfred Wilderman Woods from Lincoln, Nebraska. He was a church architect. Some exterior walls are made of river rock and locally quarried sandstone from the nearby Beck Lake. The fireplace is made up of rock, ores, minerals, and even fossils from Bighorn Basin. But possibly the most impressive of the unique items there is the bar of the dining room in the hotel. The Irma Hotel is famous for its cherrywood bar. Now, Sage, what do you think made it so famous?
I honestly couldn't tell you.
Well, it was a gift, Buffalo Bill.
Okay.
Who do you think would feel like Buffalo Bill was so important to be gifted a cherrywood bar?
President?
Nope, but you're kind of close. It was a gift to Buffalo Bill from Queen Victoria herself.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
wow.
made in France and sent to Wyoming. It dates back to the time of the construction of the hotel and is said to be one of the most photographed features in all of Cody.
That would make sense. I mean, I'm sure not only built by the French, but gifted by the Queen of England.
Yeah, and it still stands today. So if you're ever at the Irma Hotel, you can take a picture with it.
Wow.
The original hotel offered 8 to 10 rooms. I keep on seeing differentiating numbers for the room count, so hopefully I'm right. A saloon with a bar, which is a cherrywood bar, and billiards. Dining room, kitchen, lobby, office, barbershop, and bathrooms. The cost of this was $80,000 at the time. Now, you're probably going to ask me, what's the U.S. inflation calculator say about that, right?
I can only imagine that it's ridiculous.
Well, the USA inflation calculator only goes back to 1913.
Oh.
We are going back to 1902. And so in 1913, this would have been the equivalent of $2,698,602.02. So I would say that in 1903, it would be more than that. I'm going to just give a guess of $2.8 to $2.9 million of today's money.
That's actually a lot better than I would have thought for the building of a hotel like that.
Yeah. The hotel was considered luxurious for this remote area of Cody, Wyoming. The hotel opened on November 18th, 1902. Buffalo Bill invited dignitaries and press to attend as he was that kind of influential person who could draw those type of people. It became the social center of Cody, And here's some more details on the hotel itself. Not every room had proper plumbing or other facilities, and you actually had to go like to other areas of the hotel to go to the bathroom.
That is my biggest freaking nightmare.
Yeah, and in 1903, the dining room also was then remodeled, so not long after. And 2 years later, wiring of the hotel was finished by electricians, so 1905, so 3 years after the opening.
How would they charge their phone? No, I'm just kidding.
It was, well, they lived in the moment back then. Gosh.
Taking photos with their overexposure cameras.
Yep. It initially was booked by non-paying family and guests for about 2/3 of the rooms. This cost about $6,000 annually in losses.
Okay.
Which,
like, how nice is it, though? You get, like, a family discount of not even having to pay.
yeah. Well, if you think about it, the hotel cost $80,000 to make. So this is about 10% of that cost, a little under 10%. So the estimate we put, that would be probably like $270,000 a year in today's money that you'd be losing a year on those family and friends.
That is a way bigger number and much easier to understand how much of a loss that is.
Yeah. So this really hurt Buffalo Bill.
Wow.
In 1910, the room rate was $1 a day. Unfortunately for Buffalo Bill, times got rough for him, and in 1913, he had to sign over the hotel to his wife, Louisa, and they were not on good terms at this point. Buffalo Bill would then pass away in 1917, and shortly after, the hotel was foreclosed and sold to Barney Link. By the end of the year, Link resold the property back to Louisa, and she held on to it until she passed away in 1921. From here, it went to Henry and Pearl Newell. From here, it went to Henry and Pearl Newell. A few years later, in 1925, they had bought it for $28,000, which today would be $534,323.20.
Wow.
Under their ownership, a Northwest Edition was added in 1929. Henry would then pass away in 1940, and Pearl would continue to operate the hotel until she passed away in 1965. She would leave behind a large amount of Buffalo Bill memorabilia and gave it to the Buffalo Bill Historical Center. Additionally, it was stipulated that proceeds from the estate would be used as an endowment for the museum. Over the years, proper plumbing and facilities were added to the rooms. The saloon that held the bar was turned into a proper restaurant for dining. In 1966, the hotel was sold again to the Cowgill Agency, Inc. They acted as a financier and sold the property to M.G. Coley. They had been leasing it to him at the time. Coley then sold it to Ruth and Bob Dose. I think it's Dose or Dosey. Dohse. Dose, I guess. I don't know. In 1971, who operated under the Irma Hotel, Inc. During this time, they would apply for it to be on the National Register of Historical Places in 1973 and added on April 3rd, 1973. I actually found the document for this and used that for one of the sources. For the nerds out there, the NRHP reference number is 73001936. So it is a historic place marked. Between 1976 and 1977, the Southwest Edition was added to the hotel as well. In 1982, a partnership bought the hotel, and in 1989, it was sold to the Darby family, who has kept ownership to this day. Today, the hotel still operates with proper plumbing and air conditioning. You can even stay in Buffalo Bill's private suite. It's located at 1192 Sheridan Ave, Cody, Wyoming. That's about it for the relevant history. Do you want to get into the spiritual side of today's topic, Sage?
I do. I also think it's pretty dope that you can rent out Buffalo Bill's suite.
And also Irma's room.
Yeah, but
I was going to get in that too.
Obviously, Irma is his daughter, and that's important.
She ran the hotel for a decent bit of time too. There,
Buffalo Bill is the guy we know.
Yeah,
not a great guy. It sounds like
questionable. I mean,
questionable motives.
Anti-slavery. Great.
That's good. But killing all the bison, not good.
But he also probably didn't know better, unfortunately.
That's what they were doing at the time, unfortunately.
Yep. We
Like-
just gave people guns, told them kill stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of still do that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
At least there's a little more training involved, I hope.
No, it does not seem like it based on current events.
Well, you're right. I was talking military.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about something else that I think people would be upset. Some people might be upset. Some people might be happy if we're talking about. But let's move on to... Do you want to just get into the spooky? Because that's what I'm here to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Hit me with it.
All right. Well, before we get into spooky tale... Ooh, spooky. Let's take a little break for a message from some of our friends.
Hey, he's Kian.
And she's
And together
we're the hosts of Do You Dare?
So, Do You Dare is our podcast where we discuss all things true crime,
All things paranormal.
and all things history, mystery, and beyond.
Plus, don't forget the aliens.
Oh, that's silly of me. How could I forget those?
We're just two British siblings with mics, hoping to bring some spooky, some twisted, and some downright sinister to your ears.
If you like what you're listening to right now, type in Do You Dare into wherever you get your podcasts and join us as we delve into all things dark and spine-tingling with our customary British flair.
Come join the dark side. If you dare.
That message from our friend. And now to some spooky happenings at the Irma Hotel. Ooh.
Marley just gave me a look that was like, what is going on?
Oh yeah, there's no Atlas here to give us a weird look too because he's at boarding.
He is at boarding.
I'm actually sad.
He's getting groomed.
As with many historic places, hauntings are a staple of it. Just like the Stanley and the Crescent, when you stay there, you may see some ghostly patrons still at the hotel.
Ghostly patrons.
Now, most of the ghosts described at the Irma Hotel are more of the gentle or welcoming variety, which actually the City of Cody's website has information about the friendly ghosts.
Casper?
No Caspers.
Darn.
No Caspers?
No Caspers?
No Caspers, as we do the Megamind no bitches face to each other.
No bitches?
Yeah, no one can see the fact that we're doing the no
No
bitches.
bison?
No bison. No Casper.
Oh my lord.
So some of the activity in the hotel is very specific. Well, some of what we see is what I described as the general variety that we see just about everywhere. So the hallway that runs by the Colonel Cody room is considered one of the most active spots. There you may hear ghostly footsteps in the middle of the night, with no living person being the source of the sounds. You may also hear knocking on the hallway walls, knocking that's said to be sometimes very loud and wake people from their sleep. Now, that's not how I'd like to spend my vacation. I would not like to be woken up by ghostly knocking in the middle of the night.
No, that'd be so freaky. And all I can imagine, it's like raining outside and it's the hash-slinging slasher. And they're just knocking. I don't know why
The
my brain.
hash-slinging slasher in Cody, Wyoming.
Yeah, my brain. That's just where my brain went.
Really far from the Krusty Krab.
Very far from the Krusty Krab, and someone should probably help.
There are also cold spots that have been felt in the summer months when it's warm there. Harder to tell when it's winter, when it's actually legitimately very cold there.
Do they have air conditioning?
Probably.
Okay. I didn't know if that would like
I
make a
think they
difference
do.
with the cold in the summer.
Doors will close on their own and sometimes slam shut on their own. Lights will sometimes flicker, or they could turn off and on after leaving and coming back in. So, like, you'll leave the room with the lights off, and you'll go back in, and boom, on.
Oh, wasting electricity.
Yep. Some of the faucets throughout the hotel will turn on and off on their own. Sometimes guests will feel a phantom tap on their shoulder. EMF readings, whispers, and EVPs have been reported as well. Now, to some of the more unique stories and events that the Irma Hotel has allegedly had happen there. Servers and other hotel staff have reported apparitions in the dining room. Sometimes they will see a guest sitting and waiting to be served. When the staff goes to serve the guest, they mysteriously disappear. Additionally, there was a table under a taxidermy moose head that's said to have glasses be rearranged, turned upside down, or all moved to the center of the table. The staff apparently is like annoyed with it and has to reset the table every time.
This might be a really dumb question.
Is it a ghost moose?
No, I don't know that I knew that there were moose out there.
Yeah, I think they're a moose in Yellowstone.
I didn't know.
Wyoming's north of Colorado, and Colorado has moose.
I just assumed that was like a Northeast thing.
Moose. Racist right here, guys.
Moose segregationist.
Whoa.
I'm kidding, of course. I'm kidding.
Separate but equal moose drinking fountains, are you saying?
I'm kidding. I have this reoccurring dream that I have to fight a moose on the side of a highway in New Hampshire, so...
You're never beating the moose.
I don't know. I could be like Frankie Alvarez and just assume that I'm taking a moose down by
Have you ever
jumping
seen how
on
tall
its...
a moose is?
Oh, I know. He had an assumption that he would just jump up and grab its horns. Or its antlers.
Yeah, you're not beating the moose.
The fear is that I can't jump like LeBron, so I will not be able to reach its antlers. But it's fair. I try. In my dream, I'm better.
All right.
Anywho.
Well, back on this, one of the apparitions apparently is a man in a fedora who has shown up multiple times, as there was a mother and son who worked there who had reported seeing the man in the fedora multiple times.
Not the fedora.
Milady.
I wonder what era that puts him from.
Tips hat. Milady.
I'm assuming that's like, I don't even know.
I don't know.
I'm just thinking Peaky Blinders. So.
Now, one of the ghosts is believed to be a former housekeeper. Who it is, we do not know. The spirit is said to clean the rooms of guests when the living staff doesn't. They'll come back to their rooms with everything tidied, drawers closed, and beds made for them.
Honestly, that's so nice.
Now, there were 2 travel writers who went there and reported that during the stay they had the sink going on and off 3 or 4 times during the night, and when they woke up in the morning, their clothes were piled up in a pyramid at the foot of the bed. It sounds like not all the spirits are as tidy as the former housekeeper spirit. The 2 travel writers had weird shit happen to them while they were staying there.
Yeah, again, wasteful of the water.
Imagine like, I'm going to review this hotel, ghost. No, fuck you. You're going to have an awful stay here.
Well, that's the perfect reason to review it. I don't know. I'm a big fan of, Ghost Housekeeper. Hopefully she's still getting paid, and hopefully she's getting the money.
I don't think she's getting paid.
She's getting spiritual money somehow, hopefully. Good karma.
How the hell the IRS collect tax money off a dead person? Does she still get Social Security?
See, that's the workaround here, right? Don't have to pay taxes if you're paid in the afterlife.
Are you recommending tax evasion by death?
I'm recommending death.
For the reasons of tax evasion, or is that just a benefit?
That's just a benefit. I'm kidding. I don't recommend death. I hope everyone realizes I'm kidding.
Now, back on some of the other stuff. There's a shadow figure of a cowboy at the bar after closing hours. Sometimes it's also said to be that of a soldier as well. If you're on where you talk about. He is said to be, it's a cavalry soldier, so.
Oh, never mind.
He is said to be leaning against a cherrywood bar or sitting at a corner table alone. He is said to be a cowboy who died in a gunfight in the street outside the hotel. When people see him, he will slowly fade away if he is directly looked at.
That's creepy.
Yeah, just a little creepy.
If you don't look at me, I'm here. As soon as you look at me,
I fade away. I just, for some reason, have like the bum, I don't know how to even do it right, but like the Wild West generic music stuck in my head.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an idea of even where to begin with Wild West generic music.
Every time I just think of this, that's all I think of. Now, back on here, we have a young girl's giggles can be heard through the hallways, even when no children are present.
No. This is a huge fear for me.
Sage hates young girls.
No. Well, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I don't. I actually love kids. If you know me, you know I love kids. I think it is one of, if not the scariest things that can happen when it comes to paranormal activity, to have hearing the giggles or crying of a child and there's no children around, because that's telling you it's either a child spirit or it's somebody mimicking being a child spirit. That's also terrifying.
There may be giggles, but shit ain't funny.
It's not funny. It's horrifying.
Some feel an aggressive presence in the kitchen and unexplained sounds in the areas that are not publicly accessible by people. So that's something that staff report. A lot of them don't like going to some of the. It's a report that some of them, the older staff, don't like going to the older parts of the hotel and try and send the younger people out there instead.
Wow.
There's a photograph that was taken in the lobby in the 1900s, and it has apparently a mysterious shadow figure in it, possibly the first paranormal happening in the hotel. And I've not seen a copy of the picture, unfortunately. I think it's hung up there in the hotel like lobby area or
That's
dining
pretty
area.
cool. I like when, places and hotels do stuff like that.
Now, some of the rooms have very specific hauntings, as is the case with many haunted hotels. Room 35, the Paul Stock Room, is where a lot of the hauntings happening. Now, this is where it becomes iffy if it's that soldier I talked about earlier, if he's also the guy at the bar or the guy here too.
Okay.
Because the guy here is described as a soldier, sometimes as a cavalryman, sometimes as a Confederate soldier.
Okay.
So there is said to be a walking in here of an apparition, like an apparition walking, sometimes a full guy, sometimes half a guy.
What?
Only the legs sometimes.
Only the legs? Not even the upper
legs.
half?
Nope, just the legs.
Oh, that's even scarier than just seeing the upper half.
Described as unnerving and creepy.
I agree.
Sometimes ghostly voices can be heard. Belongings will be rearranged during night, and some of the room's artwork will be on the floor in places where it could not have been if it had just fallen there. The faucet phenomenon happens here as well, and the apparition reported happens as well. Sometimes full body, sometimes just the legs. Either a former Confederate soldier in a cavalry uniform or a U.S. soldier in a cavalry uniform. Some
U.S.
like U.S. Army, like after the Civil War.
Okay.
Combined United States America.
Okay.
So either a Confederate soldier or a U.S. Army uniform. Many times people will only see the bottom half, as I mentioned, but they can tell as a cavalry soldier from, like, you'll see the cavalry equipment on the pants.
Yeah. I'm assuming like a sword.
Yeah, like, I believe it's a sword. Now, what do you think of just the legs?
That's so creepy.
It's like that movie Predator Badlands.
I don't want it at all. I don't claim this energy of seeing just some random legs walking around, especially because I have to be alone tomorrow night while you're on your trip. Frank's going on a work trip. Don't think he's going somewhere fun without me.
No, yeah, it's only work.
All work, no play.
Makes Frank a dull boy. Now, Park County archivist,
Archivist, I would think.
Okay, archivist Robin Cutter believes it may be the spirit of Frank Cunningham. He had stayed in the hotel and had been hallucinating when he stayed there in 1912 and started shooting in his room.
Whoa.
This room was room 35, which we just mentioned.
That would
I
make more
believe
sense.
it mentioned he was a cavalryman. I forget if it was mentioned if he was U.S. or like U.S. as a whole or Confederate. But she was able to link that guy.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
To be like in a state of psychosis that you just start shooting around.
And so it's believed that sometimes possibly the cowboy might actually just be him at the bar.
I mean, that's understandable.
Now, and that's the problem with this one not being as well known as a haunt. Some of the sources are a bit vague.
Yeah.
Room 16, the Irma Suite, is said to be haunted as well. There is a rocking chair that is said to rock on its own. One employee mentioned that when she would when she would polish it, it would stop, almost as if it was telling her, "Hey, I need to be polished," or "Hey, please polish my chair." It is claimed that the spirit of Irma Cody Garlow, daughter of Buffalo Bill, is the spirit that's there. Sometimes it's actually her seen in the rocking chair herself, or her seen walking around.
Wow.
Apparently, her presence is more of a friendlier one.
Well, that's good at least.
Now, Irma did in fact pass away at the hotel at the age of 35, just a few days later after her husband, Fred Garlow, passed away. He too died at the hotel and died of pneumonia. Additionally, the bathroom lights and faucet will turn randomly on and off in the middle of the night, similar to the other phenomenon that I had mentioned. Room 20, which is the Colonel Cody Suite, is reported to have heightened activity and paranormal energy compared to most other rooms. It hasn't been explained why, possibly because it's Cody's room himself, and maybe he still haunts there. But people will sometimes smell a ghostly cigar smell there, which is attributed to Buffalo Bill himself.
Okay. I feel like that's pretty common. Like
What, like the owner still haunting or cigar smell?
the cigar smell.
Honestly, I don't see it in many places except for like the 3 haunted places I've had that have it, and I have not heard it from like anywhere else.
Well, I think that's definitely comes from a place that's built for a long time ago, but also people had access to things like cigars because not all the penitentiaries and stuff that I've done allowed people to smoke.
Yeah. He's also seen outside of his room, sometimes wandering the hall. Actually, I think in other places of town too, he's been reported as well. But sometimes he's at the bar having a drink there, and people will just recognize him by seeing him because I think there's probably enough pictures that people know who he is.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that one is probably one of the easier ones to link back to him himself. So there used to be a balcony on the hotel, but now it's enclosed. But some have reported that Buffalo Bill will sometimes be looking down the intersection from there. He seems at peace there. People have seen him in the mirrors as well. And there is one tale allegedly that someone he detested, like there are people that Buffalo Bill didn't like, and somebody came there. This woman looked like somebody he did not like. So while she was in the bathroom, something hit her on the arm.
Whoa.
And then something later knocked her drink out of her hand that couldn't be seen, and it's believed it might be Buffalo Bill.
Wow. That's not cool.
And then apparently the husband then asked the presence to stop attacking his wife, and everything went peacefully after. There is also apparently a former guest. Nobody knows really who it is, but sometimes they have a menacing presence about the place, like around where he's at, or well, allegedly the spirit is at, he or she, and apparently gives bad feelings to guests, psychics, and other people who are sensitive to this type of stuff. And apparently has briefly appeared to guests and staff, but no details beside that. And that really just sums up the ghost happenings there. I don't think there's really much else that I have. I'm just looking through my sources again, seeing if there are any other things, but it looks like that covers just about everything for Buffalo Bill.
Okay.
Well, sorry, of the Irma Hotel and its haunted history.
That was built by Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. Buffalo Bill's name shows so much. Sometimes people refer to it as Buffalo Bill's Hotel.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but I definitely want to give it the proper name, which is named after his daughter, so.
Now, you're going to wonder, how does the hotel incorporate this? Doesn't sound like they do much with it, but they don't deny it.
They have the picture hanging in,
yeah,
likely hanging in the lobby.
The city of Cody does have some of the ghost stories on their website. They do promote it. The place does not deny it. They do not offer ghost tours, but investigators have stayed there, and it's still a publicly open place that you can go to. So if you really want to try and investigate this place, just book a stay at the Irma Hotel in Cody, Wyoming, and go check out for yourself. Tell us if it's haunted. Tell yourself if it's haunted. Tell your friends. Figure out yourself. Maybe stay in Buffalo Bill's suite. But it's really an interesting thing, a haunted hotel that you can just go stay at.
Yeah. I wonder how popular it is to try to get into Buffalo Bill's suite.
I don't know. Might be decent. I think it does look nice. I had it up before, and let me see if I still have it. I was on their website to do some of the research to learn about the place. I'm pulling up right now on my computer to look at the rooms. Let me check their historical rooms. So room 12 is Buffalo Bill, but I think also room 20 is the Colonel Cody. The room looks okay. It definitely looks a little dated.
That, I would argue, is beyond a little dated. That genuinely looks like probably what it looked like whenever he was there.
These are the historic rooms.
Outside of, the bathroom, I guess.
Yeah.
Plumbing.
So It's an interesting looking place, but it's definitely a little dated. It's older. It's definitely an older place. We've stayed at a historic hotel before, and it was okay.
Natural Bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was definitely old.
I do like my modern hotels.
Oh, I want the nicest of the nice. I love my family, but they asked us to go camping, and we have plans that weekend, but my first question was like, is there cabins? Because I don't want to sleep on the ground. And then my brother's response was, but they have like really nice actual bathrooms. And I said, you know me so well, because I could sleep on an air mattress in a tent if I absolutely had to. Cannot use the bathroom anywhere but in a toilet.
Depends on where you got shit.
I will shit in a toilet. I've held it for 24 hours once.
All right. Well, I think we can go past that.
You don't want to talk about how long I held it?
Nope. So, in conclusion, the Irma Hotel, built in the early 1900s, still stands today after changes of hands, foreclosures, death of owners. It still stands, and maybe some of those who were once in the hotel still stay there today. Is it really haunted? Does Irma's ghost still haunt her room, rocking in her chair, asking for it to be polished? Do guests still visit the restaurant despite not being among the living? Does Buffalo Bill walk the halls of his own hotel, making sure that's still kept up to date? And does a ghost of an old soldier still haunt the room he once shot up? Or is a cowboy sitting by the bar after one too many gunfights? That's for you to decide, dear listener. Sage, do you have any recommendations on the 1 to 10 scale today?
Scale of 1 to shooting randomly in the room you're in.
I just want to do 1 to 10 giggling girls in the hallway.
That's a better one. Do that one.
1 to 10 giggling girls in the hallway. How do you rank this haunting?
Maybe a 5 out of 10. I think there's evidence for both sides.
All right. I'm going to do 6.5 giggling girls out of 10 for haunting. I do like to believe in haunting more, but that's where I put mine. Any final thoughts on this, Sage? Any final questions on the Irma Hotel? Would you stay there if we had the chance?
Probably. I mean, I think I'd like that. That's kind of our vibe, is the historic places and stuff like that.
All right. That's good. Well, with that being said, do you have anything else? Any last final thoughts?
I do not.
All right. Well, then, our wonderful listeners, I think it's time for me to do our little sign off. So, once again, thank you for listening today. A little bit of a shorter episode, but not by much. Thanks for listening. If you like what you're listening to, go check us out on our socials and like, comment, review, subscribe on whatever you are watching on, whether you're on Spotify, Apple. Every little bit helps us out a long way. Go follow us on our Instagram too. Give us your love and support. Tell your friends, family, babysitter, random person you're sitting next to on the train right now about this podcast. With that being said, Sage, are you ready for our sign off?
I am.
And remember
To look for
the unknown,
the unsolved,
and the unseen.
Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys. Be rootin', tootin', and shootin' out there in the Wild West.